Thought I'd start tonight's Fireside Thoughts with something different and give y'all a little bit of a sunset, a little bit of sun left looking at my little area. So this is the pond I'm always talking about. That back there, yes, is a little boy fishing and a squatch. Just some little dragonflies that I've painted. It's actually worked as a dragonfly attractor too. Got another little squatch right there with a little face on a tree. The back path, more of just all that I've painted. My little welcoming critters. The thicket that's behind my house. And then finally this. Just something I threw back together. This fire pit, it's my area. If I have people over, it's where we all gather. I've spent a lot of time out here. And been here 10 years. So, a lot of hours been spent out here in thought, in prayer, in good conversations with friends, family. I'm grateful. I hope you find something to be grateful for. And that's where tonight's subject's going to come in. I do not hold the rights to this. This is actually something I heard from another Christian motivation speaker. I thought it was super interesting to listen to. It's probably 20 minutes long. I don't know how long I'll go, but I'd like to discuss this all with y'all and see what you think. So we've all heard over the years, mind, body, soul, mind, body, soul. You get what you put in and you put out, and what you put into yourself. Well, this speaker brought up that we had it wrong. It's not mind, body, soul. Because the mind and the body are one. The brain is not disconnected from our body. It's all one. Our spirit is who we are. Our morals, our values, how we carry ourselves in life, our integrity. Break it down even simpler. Do we live in love or do we live in fear? Trust, love, and faith, or fear everything? Our soul. Our soul is what's going to leave us. When we leave this earth, I believe Jesus died on the cross for me, and it showed that our soul has a greater purpose. We are a soul living a human experience. Our spirit connects to our soul, which then our soul can connect to us. We just have to make them one. Feed your faith, starve your fear. Stay rooted in God's word. Even if you don't believe in God and you're just confused about what the big picture is and you just want to use your mind and expand it and delve down what spirituality could be, what Jesus is, what God is, who you are. I enjoy these quiet moments, and I usually get pretty quiet if I've got cars going by. It is a pretty active road, especially this time of night. It's not an easy path to truly follow something blindly. when you trust, and you know what you trust is true, the path gets easier to walk. At least you're understanding. You're going to have your hard times. There are going to be times where you are cussing everything around you because you can't figure out why it's happening. It's just life. Life happens. Not a lot of us are fortunate enough to have someone in our life that can help guide us, teach us. Teach us to be better. Teach us to know when to walk away from people that you don't need in your life. And cherish those who bring value into your life. Love and fear. I'm going to stay with just those two words, love and fear. Because for each of us, there's different ways we can break each one of them down. Move with a purpose in your life. Even if it's just once a week, you start by thanking, being grateful for being alive that day. And on your little routine, if you go out for coffee or tea, pay it forward. Smile more. I see it more and more nowadays. Some people have called me very weird because of how I live my life. I'm unapologetically myself. I enjoy being kind. I like being that guy that's holding the door open for everybody and smiling. You never know when your smile will just change someone's day. A little story to tell on this. So I've got a friend who works down here as a manager at the local grocery store where I go shopping. And we're very close. We're very close about how we talk about God and how we move in life and how he moves us through life. So they had mentioned that they were having a difficult time with an employee, and it wasn't in any bad way. This employee was very hard on themselves, never felt good enough, always doubting themselves. No matter how much good they did, everything never seemed to feel right, and they didn't know what to say to help them. So she happened to be my cashier. And I can be pretty bold. If anybody really knows me, I am not a quiet person unless I choose to be. It's when I'm quiet to use when there's usually a problem. But anyway, that's another subject for another time. So I said something to this cashier. I said, I'm not trying to be nosy, but I had a conversation with someone who cares about you, and I wanted you to know I'm proud of you. She's taking care of a sick mother, trying to work full-time and trying to keep her life together. And I said, well, I appreciate every time I'm in here you smile. And she lit up, and I could just see it in her eyes, like, man, aw, thank you. And she said that, oh, thank you. And I thrive off of thank yous, man. You know, I try my best to do my best, to be my best. No matter the struggles. I'll figure them out. And I'll do my damnedest to fight through them and fight through them and fight through them and fight through them. I'm hoping somebody can hear this and take a lesson from it. Put it to good works in your life, because it's so true. What you put out and what you put into yourself you do get back. You may not see it right away, but when you really start paying attention, you do. If you can appreciate the little things, when you get the great things, it feels even better, especially when you know you've earned it. If you've worked hard at your job and all of a sudden they've given you a big bonus and said, man, woman, whoever, I'm not trying to, whatever, we're not going to even get into that because that's just, I can't figure that out anyway. So, got me off track. Shine. You know, going back to the conversation with that lady, we still see each other and she's still so grateful. And I truly look back at how she was when I first met her and just those little bumps of pick-me-ups I'd purposely give her. Yeah, I would. I could tell she was down and out. Hey, man, you got this. Keep going. You never know whose life you could change. That can end up being your purpose in life. Being a spark of hope for somebody. Never give up on your dreams. Even if it sounds crazy to others, well, if you feel it's right for you, do it. Too many people will live in fear and you'll shed your dreams, or share your dreams to them and they'll just throw all kinds of shade your way. You can never do that, blah, 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 blah. And then that puts that seed of fear in you. And you lose sight of that path that you wanted and you knew you were going on. It was meant for you. It felt right to you. But you let that fear drown out that light. Don't. I know it's easier said than done. This is coming from somebody that can testify. I've struggled. I've never fully been at rock bottom where I was homeless. But I've pinched pennies together to barely make rent. There's people out there that can relate to everything. If we could all relate to more kindness. You know, there used to be a time in this world even where neighbors would get together. Friends stayed true. Marriages lasted. 75% of marriages now end in divorce. That's disgusting. Why even bother? I'm single, never been married, no kids. I want kids. I'd love to be married. It's not my time yet. Too many games out there, and I warn you from the start. My discernment's on infinity. I will smell out your bull. I'll figure out your game that you're trying to play on me, and I won't play it. You're trying to play games in my life. You will lose that game every time because it's my life. Just like you should claim your life. It's your life. Don't let others put their fear into your pot and try to destroy your good, Stu. You eat it up. You find the people that are worth sharing to, and you will. They come around. Gotta kind of sometimes get used to people coming in and out. It's something I'm sure we've all heard over our lives, that people are here for a reason or a season. Some people are meant to stay for a week. Some people are meant to stay for a lifetime. But if you can at least walk away saying, hey, I made a difference in at least one person's life, it's a game changer. Let alone you start doing stuff like that constantly. Yeah, people look at me so weird. Who is this guy? what just happened. But 9 times out of 10, I end up having a great conversation with a complete stranger that is grateful to have met me. And I'm usually grateful to have met them. And it's just that little spark of hope that you can plant that seed of hope in someone, and they spread a seed of hope, and they spread a seed of hope, and they spread a seed of hope. Well, you get what I'm saying. Instead of fear, love. Simple as that. It's honestly my journey with Jesus and God that my opinion is how he lived, through love. Love, trust, and faith. That's all God has ever asked of us. Love, trust, and faith. Love him, trust him. Keep faith that he is going to make things right. And you've got that power in you. It's called confidence. Yeah, you know what? I got this. Yep, this is going to be tough, but I can get through this. Hear that? And that's something else. Since I would like to make a little bit longer videos, let me add this to the little spiritual soul talk that we're having here. Spend some time in nature, even if it's just a little bit. Man, grounding. I just recently learned about the grounding, and it's another conversation for another day. But man, I have been guilty anymore of walking around down here barefoot. And I think, man, the hippies were doing this all the time in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And look at how happy that generation was. Even the ones that are still alive now, they're some of the best people we ever meet. Especially if you get into like our grandparents or great-grandparents' generation, man. I'm fortunate enough take a little sip of my coffee while those cars go by. I'm fortunate enough to have both my grandparents on my mother's side. They're basically my mother and father. 94 this year. 94 years old. And still in good shape. When they go to the doctor, man, they can't believe that they're in better shape than most people in their 50s and 60s. But they live a pure life. They're kind. It's where I learned how to be kind. They installed at me at a young age. Aaron, have faith in yourself. We have faith in you. Don't you ever let anybody tell you you can't. Aaron, worry about Aaron, because no one else is. Your friends may say they have your back, but in the long run, you'll find out who will have your back. And if all else fails, you can count on yourself and trust yourself to make the right decisions. And now here I am. Totally different man since I moved here to Arkansas. I've got chose to change form tattooed on my upper arm. Got it 2 years ago when this journey of mine truly started. And I lived that way. Strive to change yourself. Educate yourself more. Put yourself out there more. Put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. I'm not saying go way out, but you know what? If you got a little crush on somebody, go for it. You see somebody struggling, instead of going, oh, I can't, say, hey, can I help you? Or even if you can't even do that, you know what? After you make your order at that drive-through of the coffee shop, say, hey, I'll pay it forward. Here's an extra $10. If I can, let me buy 2 people a cup of coffee today, and see how that starts to make you feel. What you put out to the world and what you put into yourself comes back. If you're feeling yourself full of self-love, and I'm not saying being in your ego, haha, look at me, I'm all that. We all know some people that are like that. No, humble, kind, generous, being hospitable. Being someone's inspiration to be like, man, you know what? I can't believe I've met someone like that. I've had conversations like this at work and it shocked me. It's why I've decided to stay on the shift that I'm at. I work with now 4, 5 younger people. We won't get into age. They're obviously old enough to be working. Most of them have families started. And when they get talking to me, every single one of them have said, man, I never thought I'd meet somebody like you in my life. You know, these young people are trying to be warriors for God. They believe in God, and they see that I can teach them. And I guess that's something that I'm accepting now. Even with these videos, they're not super popular right now, and I don't care. Maybe someday. I do want to reach people. I don't want money from it. I want to inspire. Be better, do better. With enough snakes in the world, be that mongoose. Be that beast that can tear through any lie and expose the fear and stand there in love and truth and faith. Be humble, even if you're a millionaire. Don't forget that janitor's struggling, and he's still a person. That homeless person, you don't know their story. Yeah, there's some that are out there by choice because of drugs. There's also some out there that are out there because they lost everything. So instead of looking down and putting a hand up and a nose, lift up that hand. Hey, it's going to be all right. You never know. Your kindness could spark that dude or woman, that person, to smile that day, and they had an interview, and they got that job, and now they've got that job, and now they can get back to having a place of their own. And now that they've got a place of their own, they can keep moving forward. Move forward. Don't keep stuck in that rut of life. If you see where you're going is no good, if you see the people that are around you are no good, let them go. Especially if you see they're not willing to change. They like being stuck in the mud. They want to drag more people down and pity party and, oh, poor is me, poor is me. I love you, goodbye. I pray that you get your shit together, your stuff together, excuse me. I got a bit of a mouth on me. So my last thoughts on tonight's Fireside thought is keep your body strong, your mind open to learning, your heart full of love, your spirit with good integrities and morals and values. Find your soul. Find a purpose in life. Reach for your dreams and fly high, y'all.